Today we will learn how easy it is to be happy. We will get some investment advice, and my goal is to also get you to laugh a few times, God willing. But before that, we will use the tools that Jewish people have been using for thousands of years to bring healing, to bring refuah, good health to the world. So first, I invite everybody to open the book of Psalms. In our screen we'll have Psalm 130, and please read with me Tehillim Kuf Lamet. In the meantime, while it pops on the screen, I would like to say Alechaim, wish everybody a good health. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam She'akol Nהיה Bidbaro. L'chaim to life. שיר המעלות ממעמקים קראתיך אדוני, אדוני שמע וקולי, תהיינה אוזניך קשובות לכל תחנוני. אם עוונות תשמור ים, אדוני מי יעמוד? כי עמך סליחה למען תברא, קיוויתי אדוני קיוותה נפשי, ולדברו הוחלתי. נפשי לאדוני משומרים לבוקר, שומרים לבוקר, יחל ישראל אל אדוני, כי עם אדוני החסד והרבה עמו פדות, והוא יפדה את ישראל מכל עוונותיו. And we have another tool that's very effective to give tzedakah. So if you can now or later, please put some coins in your pushka, give some tzedakah, and now we get to the third tool that we have, that is Torah learning. I have so much to share with you today, so please, if you can, for 15 minutes, give me your undivided attention. We will go fast. They ask the horse, why are you so happy? He says, because I live in a stable environment. Now, many of us are not exactly in one environment that we would like to be. Things are a little hectic right now, but it's so important to be happy. So our topic for today is the Kabbalah of Happiness, how to be happy. And we will learn how easy really is to be happy. Now, why am I talking about this? What are my credentials? Those who know me know whenever you ask me, how are you? My answer is, I'm happy, Baruch Hashem. Why? Because I believe it's extremely important, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, to serve God with happiness. Now, we're talking about Kabbalah. What's Kabbalah? Kabbalah teaches us to look beyond the surface. For instance, the story of Abraham and Sarah, if you change the word Abraham for soul and Sarah for body, gives you a whole different relationship. The idea on the relationship, how we should treat our body-soul relationship. So today I will base my talk on the idea of Moach Shalit al Alev, that the mind has the ability to control the heart, and therefore if you use it right, you'll always be in control of your feelings and you'll be happy. Now, to be happy is the natural state for a human being. How do I know this? Look at children. Children are happy and they want to be happy. So what happens? How do we lose that natural happiness? We are flooded with information, media, publicity, ads, and they tell us you'll be happy if you do this, you'll be happy if you do the other. Now, happiness is internal. It's an attitude. And it's so important to have it. And just to picture that, the lesson I have from my father, something I really try to live by every single day of my life, it says, imagine if the whole world will act the way you act. Will the world be a better place or not? And he says, that's Yiddishkeit. Behave in a way that if everybody will do exactly what you're saying, this will be a better world. Imagine a world where everybody is happy. How beautiful it will be. So what do? I start my day with Modeh Ani. What is Modeh Ani? I say, God, thank you for giving me back my soul. I'm happy. I'm already happy that I'm alive. I have my own soul, which I don't take for granted. And also, when I say the Modeh, I realize that my connection with God is unshakable. Doesn't matter what happened. Doesn't matter the impurity of the night. Even before I wash my hands, rinse my mouth, anything. Right away, I can connect with God through the Modeh, and that makes me happy. You know, they say money can't buy happiness, but helps you look for it in a lot of places. It's a funny saying, but you can look for happiness in places. Happiness comes from the decisions we make all the time. I want to share a story that happened with me a few years ago. I came back from Tijuana. It was a challenging day. I was really tired. I was looking forward to sit in the couch, relax for a few minutes with my iPad. And my son was very young at that time. Avram Yosef comes over and he tells me, Tati, I want to learn Torah. I want to learn with you. Now, did I want to learn with him? Honestly, no. But, you know, it was such an opportunity. He's asking me to learn. Of course, I said yes. I put aside what I wanted to do what he wanted. You know, after 2 minutes, I was enjoying it so much more than I would have whatever I was planning to do with my iPad. I was happy. I said, you know, this was best decision of the day, to sit down with my son and study. But the happiness didn't end there. Next morning, I'm driving my kids to school, to CHA. They are in the back seat, all three of them, Avram, Levi, and Hillel. And I hear Avram give Chazor, repeat everything that I told him the day before that we learned together. He tells his younger brothers. But the nachas, the happiness, they didn't end there. The end of the day, I carried a phone call from Rabbi Smoller, the teacher of Hillel. Was young at that time. I can't remember exactly. It was maybe 5 years old. And he says, you know, your son raised his hand today in class, says, can I share something with the class? And he said, yes. He said a beautiful Dvar Torah. Exactly what he had learned, I had learned with Avram Yosef the day before. So I started by doing something I didn't want. I thought it will not be pleasant. Ended up being the most beautiful investment of my time, rather than sitting with an iPad and doing who knows what, a few minutes news or things that are not exactly conducive to happiness. I spend time with my family. I spend time learning Torah and the nachat. And even today, more than 10 years later, I feel so happy that I did that then. So yes, the media tells us you'll be happy if you do this, if you buy that, that's why we kind of lose our natural happiness. If we have to invest in something that appreciates, you know, I buy electronics, I buy an iPad, and today I'm very happy with it. Tomorrow, less, and in a few months will be almost worthless. That's not a good investment. We should invest in what spirituality, in family, in Torah, that the value only increases with time. You know, when Yosef was sent to Egypt, it's written, Yosef Hurad. He was taken to Egypt, but his body, his spiritual, his emotions, he was always in control, and therefore he was able to become the ruler of Egypt. Because if you're in control of yourself, of your emotions, you can become a leader and help others as well. Now, I had a very interesting experience. I was driving one day, a long drive with an elderly friend, and he was driving his Lincoln Continental. He was in his 80s. His eyesight was not the greatest, and he couldn't keep on his lane on the freeway. He was going all over the freeway, and the reactions of the people were very interesting. People were cursing and yelling and doing all kinds of things with their hands, and he was oblivious to everything. Why? Because not only had bad eyesight, also he couldn't hear anything. So I had a very interesting first row seat to an amazing experience. Everybody was getting fired up and cursing and upset. I said, look what he did to me. And I realized he was in his own happy world. Remind me of Mr. Magoo a little bit. He knew nothing of what people were saying. And I said, you know, these people are handing the remote control of their emotions to my friend. I said, this is such a valuable lesson. You can only hold the remote control, the control of your emotions. Don't make it remote, make it close to you. After a few minutes, I told my friend, listen, maybe I should drive, but thank God we arrived safely to our destination. But we worry about so many things that we shouldn't. You know, there was a young girl that had terrible depression and anxiety, and they had no reason, had a beautiful, stable family. She was provided for everything, good health, and they didn't know what to do, so they asked a Kabbalist, and the Kabbalist sat down with the girl, and he told her, you know, this anxiety, this depression is not yours. It's foreign, doesn't belong to you. I see in your soul that you had a very difficult life, your previous reincarnation passed away during the Holocaust and the terrible suffering, and that's why you're feeling that. As soon as the girl was told that, she was able to have tools and ways to cope with that and realize that the depression, the sadness was not hers, didn't belong to her, and she was able to get rid of it. So whenever we get sad, depressed, we have to do the same that she did. Realize that this is not you. This is something foreign, this is toxic, and get rid of it as soon as you can. It's a fascinating study by Harvard. The longest running study that Harvard University did is the secret to life, happiness, and longevity. And I recommend that you read it, but they found out very interesting things. Obviously, a healthy life, exercise, controlling your weight are good, but having a good marriage, good education, and mature coping skills, stoicism and altruism are very important in order to have a good life, to be happy. But warm, intimate relationships are the most important. Now, we are at a very special time. We're spending so much time with our families. We have the opportunity to show our spouse and our children how precious they are to us. Don't say, oh, it's so hard homeschooling, so hard to have the kids all day at home. This is so beautiful. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be with them, to show them how much we love and to treasure every moment. Now, according to this Harvard study, they found out that it could add 5 years to your life. That's the good news. The bad news, if you're sad, your life might seem much longer. But I recommend to go with the happy, longer life. Now, the secret to being in a good, warm, happy relationship is to live in the now. You know, put down the screens, forget about everywhere, where you are now, this place. So how do you do that? Imagine if you can live in the now with no grudges, no baggage, no worries for the future. You are super happy. So this means to see the world the way God sees it. How do you do that? He gave us the biggest present, which is Shabbat. With Shabbat, you are on the spot. Now, it's interesting, besides all the spiritual stuff, on Shabbat we make a big deal about eating. Why? Because eating brings you to the moment. You are giving to your body energy that it needs to exist. The body is very now-minded. It's a little bit like Tchiyat HaMetim. Shabbat brings you to the now, to love, and only now it's real. Like this bar, someone walks in, says, free beer tomorrow. It says, great deal. It comes tomorrow, and the sign, okay, can I get my free beer? It says, no, read. It says, tomorrow it will be free. Tomorrow never arrives. Shabbat teaches us that in the now, you meet people, you meet God, and it's the only thing that is real. when it comes to happiness, to spending time with your spouse, it's very important not to treat your spouse like most people treat God, taking very little notice of his existence until you want something. So they say it's important to hold hands with your wife. Why? Because if you let go, she may go shopping. And also very important not to be like those who see each other with rose-colored eyes before the marriage, and then they look at each other with magnifying glasses. The happiest people don't have the best of everything, they make the best of everything. And remember, behind every successful wife stands a very surprised mother-in-law. I have so much that I want to share with you, but thank God I'm limited in time, thanks to you. So I just want to recap. Kabbalah teaches us that mind controls the heart, and it's all about attitude. Anxiety is foreign to us, it's poison. Happiness is internal. And even if you don't have it, fake it. Every single day when people ask, how are you? I always say happy. Am I always happy? I should be, but I always say I'm happy. Why? Because you fake it till you make it. And it's very important to invest daily on being happy, meditate, and God will take you on the road that you want to go. Be happy. Thank God for all the blessings, and will give you the ultimate blessing, the coming of Mashiach very soon. While I introduce my wife, I want to leave you with a happiness song of Choni. Thank you.